Welcome to Shom Machshava and Dav Shir sponsor Lui Nishmas Am B'Yakashom Lea Basitzchuk. We're holding in Metziah Daf Beis, starting a new Masechta. And the Mishnah starts with Shnaim Ochzin betalis, two people holding one talis. Zoi me'anim metzasio, v'zoi me'anim metzasio. One says I found it, the other one says I found it. Zoi merkulu sheli, v'zoi merkulu sheli. One says this belongs to me, the other one says belongs to me. So after you do shua, the din is yachloiku. You'll split the talis into two. As Tosis mentions over here, Shiras Tosis is that the reason that yachloiku is because whatever each one holds, it's considered that it belongs to him. Anat sadeh, that whatever you're holding belongs to you. The Maharal in Tiferes Yisrael Perek B'Mches and also Netzach Yisrael Perek Beis, he brings a Yerushalmi. The Yerushalmi says that the Luchos were 6 tvachim. The top 2 tvachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu was holding on to. The bottom 2 tvachim Moshe Rabbeinu was holding on to. And the middle 2 tvachim was in between. And when Am Yisrael did Chet HaEgel, this week's Parsha, Parsha Kesiso, Am Yisrael doing Chet HaEgel, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kivyochel wanted to take the Luchos in the hand of Moshe Rabbeinu, but Moshe Rabbeinu held onto it very strongly and did not allow Hashem to take the Luchos from his hands. And for that, Moshe Rabbeinu got a special shvach, lechoil hayad hachazaka, that he held his hand strong to hold on to the Luchos. So Maharal there goes on to explain. He says 2 pshatim that connect to each other. The first, he starts by saying that there's 3 types of mitzvahs in the Torah. There's the mitzvahs which are chukim that human beings don't understand. It comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we do it because HaKadosh Baruch Hu told us to do it, but we don't understand. Then there's mishpatim. We understand it's on our own. We don't really need anybody to tell us to do it. We will do it on our own. And then there's the middle part, which is called the eidos. The eidos means it's something on our own we wouldn't have known. But now that we were taught to do it, we can understand it. For example, Shabbos. Once we learn what Shabbos is all about, and that Shabbos is an eidos HaKadosh Baruch Hu that created the world, it makes sense to do Shabbos. But I will not come and say this mitzvah on my own. So says the Maharal, the 2 tefachim up there that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is holding on to is connected to chukim that we don't understand. It's biyad HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The 2 that Moshe Rabbeinu is holding on to is biyad us, biyad b'nei Adam. It's mishpatim that we understand. And what's in the middle is the eidos, which is a combination of both. Continues the Maharal in the second shot, and really is the same mahalach. It says the 2 tefachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu is holding on to shows that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is noisen HaTorah. The 2 tefachim that Moshe Rabbeinu is holding on to is Am Yisrael Mekabel HaTorah. And whatever you have in between is the chibur between the 2. And this shows the complete connection that HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael has. That they're mamish partners in Torah. They're together as one. Says the Maharal, this is Shnaim Ochzin betalis. You have 2 people holding a talis. Whatever they're holding on to is considered to be theirs. And he brings the Gemara L'Kabon and Daf Zayin. The Gemara says that whatever each person is holding, that's theirs. Whatever is in between, they're partners in it and he divide equally. So Zok the Maharal, with the Yerushalmi, tells us that the Luchos were held by HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Moshe Rabbeinu is the idea of Shnaim Ochzin betalis. And what the Maharal seems to indicate is that that's a pshat in the Yerushalmi, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, wanted to take the Luchos away from Moshe Rabbeinu, but he couldn't. Because the idea is we're partners. You can't take it away from partners. The halacha is Shnaim Ochzin betalis yachleiku. Each one has half. The Yesod of Matan Torah is that Am Yisrael got an ownership in Torah, and now you can't take it away from them. So though they did Chet HaEgel, still you have what to build from to get to a new Luchos. And the Sefer Smichas Chacham, which was written by the Mekubal by Naftali Katz, where he connects there every end of a Masechta to the beginning of the next Masechta. So there he takes this idea of the Maharal that connects the Yerushalmi to our Mishnah, and with this he explains the connection between the end of Maseches Bava Kama to the beginning of Maseches Bava Metziah. Because in the end of Maseches Bava Kama we learned that if a craftsman is working for the balabais, so whatever is left over, whatever is psoilis, he can take for himself if the balabais is not makbit. Says the Smichas Chachamim, what is the source for that? So he says, because it's brought down in the Gemara Nedorim, the Moshe Rabbeinu got the psoilis of the Luchos. When he prepared the Luchos, the leftover material Moshe Rabbeinu kept. And you learn from the pasuk, Psol lecha ha-psoilis yesh lecha. From here you learn a craftsman can keep the psoilis for himself. Says the Zvichas Chachamim, but one can ask him this, what's the raya? Moshe Rabbeinu grabbed the Luchos, as we saw from the Yerushalmi. When the Luchos were given, and Am Yisrael Chet HaHekel, Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to take away the Luchos away, Moshe Rabbeinu took over the Luchos. And we know, as Tosfos brought here in the Sugya, we have a concept called the Alin Gvar, the one who's stronger, he gets it. So maybe Moshe Rabbeinu got the psoilis of the Luchos because he took it over, because it's his. Not because he got the leftovers from Balabais. On this comes our Mishnah. Shnaim Ochzin betalis. When you have two people holding a talis, you divide it equally. And Tosfos says, when each one is holding on to it, it's considered to be that each one owns half. So you don't say kol da'alin gvar. So you made whatever Moshe Rabbeinu was holding on to, that's his. But how did he take the psoilis of the rest of the Luchos? You have to say because the Uman is allowed to take the psoilis. So the halacha of the first Mishnah, Masechus Bava Metziah, tells me how do I know the end of Masechus Bava Kama? How do I know that a craftsman can take over the psoilis that's left over? Because we know from the beginning of Bava Metziah that Shnaim Ochzin betalis, each one owns half. So the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu held on to the Luchos, still the one half belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And still he took the psoilis. You see that Uman can take the psoilis. A gewaltige Shavkeit, it's all based on this Yesod that Shnaim Ochzin betalis is a reference to the Luchos that HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe Rabbeinu held on to. Please check the source sheet for all the Maharal on this shir.